Good evening and welcome to Express News with me, Deepika, your daily half-an-hour window that brings you 100 news and updates from the country and the world in 30 minutes. Let's begin. President Draupadi Murmu will attend the National Conclave on Adi Karma Yogi Abhiyan in New Delhi, organized by the Ministry of Tribal Affairs for Viksit Bharat Vision. It aligns with PM Janman and Dharti Aba Abhiyan, focusing on tribal empowerment. The Tejas Mk-1A successfully completed its maiden flight at HAL's third production line in Nashik, boosting India's air power. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh attended, marking a milestone in defence manufacturing. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh inaugurated HAL's third Tejas Mk-1A and second HTT-40 production lines in Nashik, Maharashtra. The LCA Tejas Mk-1A received a water cannon salute post its maiden flight. Speaking at the event, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh said HAL Nashik has played the role of a strong pillar in taking India's defence manufacturing capability to new heights. Applauding India's manufacturing system, Defence Minister said India does 65% of its manufacturing on its own soil. Further, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh said that during Operation Sindoor, our forces not only demonstrated their valour but also proved their trust in indigenous platforms. Sri Lankan Prime Minister Harini Amarasuriya, who is on a 3-day visit to India, will meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi today. Earlier, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar met the visiting Sri Lankan Prime Minister in the national capital. The leaders discussed India's continued support to Sri Lanka and strengthening cooperation in education and capacity building. Sri Lanka's Prime Minister Harini Amarasuriya visited her alma mater, Hindu College, and praised the college's progress. She lauded its smart classrooms and research, receiving a standing ovation from students and faculty. Her visit is focused on strengthening bilateral ties between India and Sri Lanka and enhancing collaboration in education and capacity building. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar met Brazil's Vice President in New Delhi on Friday, discussing trade and economic ties. The meeting strengthens India-Brazil strategic partnership amid ongoing bilateral engagements. Egyptian Foreign Minister Dr. Badr Abdulati will meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi on Friday to strengthen bilateral ties, trade and regional cooperation, following Thursday's first India-Egypt strategic dialogue with External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar. Indian Chief of the Army Staff General Upendra Dwivedi met Ethiopia's General on UNTCCC on the sidelines in New Delhi on Friday, focusing on training, peacekeeping and capacity building to boost the defence ties. The Indian Navy seminar in New Delhi on Friday emphasized robust cyber defences amid and rapid information sharing to secure safeguarding national systems and security and India's strategic maritime goals. Communications Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia highlighted 1 year of remarkable achievements of the Ministry of Development of Northeastern region while interacting with the media on Friday. Jyotiraditya Scindia emphasized the government's focused approach towards accelerating growth, improving connectivity and promoting sustainable development across the Northeast while reaffirming the commitment to inclusive regional progress. Communications Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia also praised India Post's vital role in nationwide communication, announcing on Friday plans to transform Speed Post into a 24-hour delivery network for next-day parcel delivery. In a major anti-Naxal breakthrough, 208 Naxalites surrendered in Chhattisgarh on Friday, handing over 153 weapons. Abu Jamar and North Buster are nearly cleared, with South Bastar remaining the last Naxal hotspot. The Western Indian state of Gujarat has announced a new 26-member cabinet, including Rivaba Jadeja, wife of cricketer Ravindra Jadeja. This follows the resignation of the previous council, with only Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel retaining his position. Acting on intelligence regarding narcotics trafficking in the region, the Assam Rifles, in a joint operation with local police, recovered heroin with an estimated value of 3 crore rupees. The seizure took place in the Kachhar district on Thursday. Prime Minister Narendra Modi shared an article published in a leading English daily that talked about vehicle sales gaining from GST 2.0 reforms. Passenger vehicles at 3.72 lakh, with two-wheelers recording healthy growth. Prime Minister Narendra Modi shared some news on his X post that talked about consumer durables. Firms ring in chartbuster Diwali, with sales surging up to 45% after GST cuts. Prime Minister Modi highlighted GST relief on Friday, sparking a home buying surge in Tier 2 and 3 cities like Lucknow and Indore. Ahead of Diwali, India's housing market sees renewed optimism and sustained recovery beyond metros. Indian benchmark indices ended higher. At close, the Sensex was up 484.53 points or 0.58% at 83,952.19, and the Nifty was up 124.55 points or 0.49% at 25,709.85. The Indian rupee ended lower by 15 paise at 87.97 per dollar on Friday versus Thursday close of 87.82. Spot gold prices soared to a historic $4,376 per ounce on Friday, up 0.4% amid US credit fears, geopolitical tensions and festive demand in India, with MCX futures hitting 1,32,294 rupees per 10 grams. Spot silver prices reached a historic $54 per ounce on Friday, up 0.9% from yesterday, with MCX futures at 1,70,415 rupees per kilogram. Crude oil prices remained under bearish sentiment today, driven by demand concerns, easing geopolitical tensions and ample supply. WTI dipped below $57 per barrel amid a bearish gap, while Brent held slightly higher but still in monthly decline. Asian markets traded mostly lower today amid escalating US-China trade tensions and global banking sector concerns, mirroring Wall Street's sell-off. Broader MSCI Asia Pacific ex-Japan index fell 1.2%. European shares stumbled on Friday, on course for their biggest drop in more than 2 months, as fresh worries about the health of US regional banks hurt shares of lenders globally. The continent-wide Stock 600 index in Europe dropped 1.7%, set to wipe out weekly gains. European banks slid 3%. A union representing more than 3,200 striking workers of Boeing said it has filed an unfair labor practice charge against the US plane maker with the National Labor Relations Board. Fuel and aid trucks on Friday crossed from Egypt's Rafah into Gaza. Israel's FM Gideon Sa'ar says Rafah may reopen on Sunday, October the 19th, for people. Meanwhile, the World Food Programme has reported no food distribution in Gaza City, with only limited nutrition supplies entering due to closed northern crossings. Further, the UN World Food Programme said on Friday it has brought in about 560 tons of food per day on average into Gaza since ceasefire began, but it is still below what is needed. The US Chamber of Commerce has filed a lawsuit challenging the Trump administration's new $100,000 H-1B visa fee, calling it unlawful and a threat to American businesses' access to top global talent. US President Donald Trump has announced a very productive call with Russia's Vladimir Putin, leading to a planned meeting in Budapest, Hungary, to end the Ukraine war. Kremlin said the Russian president told Trump that supplying US Tomahawk cruise missiles to Ukraine would harm the peace progress and damage US-Russia ties. Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban posted on X on Friday, calling the Trump-Putin meeting great news for peace-loving people, adding, "We are ready." He confirmed talks with Trump, with summit preparations underway in Budapest. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky met U.S. government officials and defense companies' representatives in Washington, D.C. on Friday. Meanwhile, the Russian Defense Ministry said on Friday that its forces had taken control of 3 villages in the Dnipropetrovsk region, as well as Pishan and Tikhay in the Kharkiv region. French President Emmanuel Macron welcomed European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen at the Elysee Palace on Friday, where they were due to discuss supporting Ukraine and the situation in West Asia, according to Macron's office. US President Donald Trump will discuss the possible supply of Tomahawk missiles to Ukraine with President Volodymyr Zelensky on Friday, but the surprise announcement of a new US-Russian summit cast doubt over the prospect. The White House will announce a list of Democrat programs slated for a closure on Friday. Trump earlier on Tuesday said the ongoing government shutdown presents an opportunity to permanently eliminate what he called Democrat programs. A small aircraft crashed in Bath Township, Michigan, killed all 3 people on board. The incident happened about 15 miles from the Capital Region International Airport and is being investigated by the Federal Aviation Administration. Madagascar's new military ruler, Colonel Michael Randrianirina, sworn in as the president on Friday after the military took power in the island nation this week following youth-led protests that forced Andre to flee. United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres on Thursday condemned the unconstitutional change of government in Madagascar and calls for the return to constitutional order and the rule of law. Peru's new government to declare a state of emergency in Lima in response to the ongoing violence of organized crime, which has led to massive protests. Hundreds were injured and 1 person was shot dead by a police officer in Peru after demonstrations erupted. The protest called by young Gen Z protesters, transport workers and civil groups was the latest in a series of demonstrations against corruption and rising crime. Former Japanese Prime Minister Tomichi Murayama, best known for his landmark apology for Japan's World War II aggression, has died at the age of 101. He passed away on Friday because of old age in a hospital in his hometown of Oita, southwestern Japan. We are heading for a short break. We'll be right back.
There's so many invaluable artifacts that the British have taken from our country. They robbed us of our self-respect. They robbed us of our honor. Loot was never innocent. It was painful.
The word loot, that was stolen from India too.
Welcome back. Let's continue. Heavy to very heavy rainfall was recorded at isolated places over Tamil Nadu. Key locations in Tirunelveli district reported up to 16 centimeters, while part of Thuttukundi and Ramanathapuram districts also saw heavy downpours causing waterlogging and disruption. Enhanced rainfall activity with isolated heavy to very heavy falls is likely to continue over Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Puducherry during the next 7 days. The US Coast Guard released aerial images showing the devastation in a town after remnants of Typhoon Halong caused severe flooding in coastal areas. The Alaska Air National Guard airlifted around 300 displaced people after the storm battered Alaska's low-lying communities. Multiple homes in Alaska's Cape Nook were pushed off foundations, with Cape Nook and Kwangilingkong experiencing strong winds and heavy flooding, causing significant damage. Residents of Mexico's Tuzanacuac community received food and other supplies from Mexican National Guard after landslides blocked roads. Survivors of the Mexican floods and landslides that killed at least 70 people have appealed for urgent aid, saying they are worried about disease outbreaks. A magnitude 6.1 earthquake jolted southern Philippines on Friday. The tremor struck near Dapa municipality at a depth of around 69 kilometers, following weeks of powerful quakes that have shaken the region. There were no immediate reports of casualties or damage from the recent quake. The Philippines, located on the Pacific Ring of Fire, regularly experiences seismic activity, including deadly quakes in recent weeks. The United Nations warned on Friday that about 900 million people are directly exposed to climate hazards worsened by global warming. According to UNDP and Oxford study, 1.1 billion people live in acute multidimensional poverty measured by factors including infant mortality and access to housing, sanitation, electricity and education. Decoration work has started at the Sri Ram Janmabhoomi temple in Ayodhya ahead of the Potsav, with diyas and lights symbolizing the victory of light over darkness as the city prepares for grand celebrations. The holy city of Ayodhya is all set to welcome a Ramayan-themed wax museum featuring lifelike models from Ram Lala to Ravan. The museum showcases key moments from the Ramayan and will open to the public on the occasion of the Potsav. In Rajasthan's Udaipur, Diwali celebrations have begun with grandeur as devotees performed Ganga Aarti and Mahakaleshwar Aarti. The city glowed with lights and devotion, marking the start of the festive season. In Mathura, markets are buzzing with festive energy as people shop for Diwali decorations, lights and rangoli items. Despite high prices, families enthusiastically buy torans, flowers and Lakshmi Ganesh stickers to adorn their homes for the Festival of Light. In West Bengal, potters are working tirelessly to craft traditional clay diyas ahead of Diwali. The eco-friendly lamps light up homes and support sustainable development by promoting local artisans and green practices. In Tamil Nadu's Coimbatore, a chocolate maker has launched a unique Quackies chocolate this Diwali, featuring edible designs like snakes, chakras and flower pots. The product is attracting buyers both in India and overseas. The Indian High Commission in Dhaka commemorated Fakir Lalon Shah's 135th death anniversary on Thursday with a musical evening at Liberation War Museum, celebrating his message of unity, compassion and humanism. Venezuela is preparing for the canonization of Jose Gregorio Fernandez, known as the Doctor of the Poor, with ceremonies and statue preparations underway ahead of the Vatican event. The Signal Festival of Light has opened in Prague, lighting up the city's UNESCO-listed center with 17 vibrant installations. Now in its 13th year, the event features video mapping and interactive projections by global artists. Town criers from across Australia gathered in Canberra for the annual Town Crier Championships, reviving the centuries-old tradition once used to spread news. Argentine paleontologists discovered a nearly complete skeleton of 230 million-year-old long-necked herbivore dinosaur in La Rioja province at over 3,000 meters above the sea level. A 300-year-old Stradivarius violin worth $16 million will be played on Friday in Brussels by Armenian violinists with the Belgian National Opera. Ballerina Victoria will debut her first show on tour across France in December. Victoria gained global fame through social media for her unconventional performance in unexpected locations. Auguste Renoir's 1890s oil painting, a masterpiece of intimacy, was unveiled in Paris before its October 25th auction. Valued at 1.5 million euros, it showcases Renoir's artistic mastery. Boston-based Gemini is testing hologram tech in Ghana to boost breast cancer awareness, promote early detection, and combat stigma and fear around the disease. Ace Frehley, the founding guitarist of rock band Kiss, passed away at the age of 74 on Thursday following injuries from a fall last month. His bandmates paid tribute, calling him an irreplaceable rock soldier and a vital part of Kiss's enduring legacy. Singer Charlie Puth and his wife Brooke Sansone announced that they are expecting their first child, revealing the news in the music video for his new single, Changes. Chris Hemsworth's documentary, A Road Trip to Remember, follows his journey with his father, who has early-stage Alzheimer's, and premieres November the 23rd. The quiz show Pop Culture Jeopardy is renewed for a second season, with Colin Jost likely returning as the host. Contestants will compete in a tournament-style battle of knowledge on movies, music and television. Fans gathered in Buenos Aires to mark the first death anniversary of British singer and former One Direction member Liam Payne, who died at the age of 31 after falling from a hotel balcony. Golden Globes will host a March 2026 celebration in Rio de Janeiro, highlighting Brazil's film and television talent, aiming to showcase Latin American artists and expand global presence. Singer Sam Fender won the Mercury Prize on Thursday for his third album, People Watching, beating nominees like Pulp and FKA Twigs. Delhi Crime Season 3 premieres November the 13th on Netflix, tackling a human trafficking network with a darker, gripping storyline. Indian actor-director Rishabh Shetty's folk thriller Kantara Chapter 1 has collected 700 crore rupees worldwide. The prequel is set 2,000 years before the events of the first film. Tollywood's fantasy action movie Akhanda 2 has been rescheduled to release on the 5th of December this year after being postponed from its original Dussehra release. Australia thrashed Bangladesh by 10 wickets to become the first team to enter the semi-finals of the ongoing ICC Women's Cricket World Cup. Informed Manus Labuschagne was added to Australia's one-day squad to face India after all-rounder Cameron Green was ruled out of the series with a side strain. Indian opener Abhishek Sharma has been named as the ICC Men's Player of the Month for the current month, which is September 2025 of the series. Indian women's team vice-captain Smriti Mandhana was crowned the Women's Player of the Month. India is set to host one of the most prestigious events on the international boxing calendar, the World Boxing Cup Finals, starting the 14th of November. India's Sports Minister Mansukh Mandavia announced that Khelo India University Games will take place in northwestern state of Rajasthan later this year. 3 Indian compound archers Madhura, Jyoti and Rishabh Yadav will participate in Archery Final World Cup in China. Sports global governing bodies, the International Tennis Federation, has announced that it would change its name next year to World Tennis. World number 2 Yannick Sinner is unlikely to take part in Davis Cup quarterfinals, in which Italy will defend their title on home turf. Novak Djokovic stated that he has no plans to retire. He cited NBA great LeBron James and veteran footballer Ronaldo as his inspiration. Djokovic reached the semi-finals of all 4 majors this year and is currently ranked number 5 in the world. The final for the lucrative Six Kings Slam is set with Carlos Alcaraz slated to take on Yannick Sinner on Sunday. Sinner and Alcaraz are set to face each other in the final of a tournament for the 4th time this year. Barcelona's 18-year-old winger Lamine Yamal has entered into Forbes' top 10 highest paid players list for the first time. And the opening ceremony of the 2026 Winter Olympics will be staged at Milan's famous San Siro Stadium and feature other venues across northern Italy. And with this, it's a wrap here on Express News for now, but news and updates will continue here on DD India. Don't go anywhere. Keep watching and keep tracking DD India for all latest news and updates from the country and the world. Namaskar.